Siege is probably the golden standard of a Transformers toy line. At least for me it is. The first line I collected in full was Power the Primes, followed by Studio Series, but I did get some Titans Return figures, so Siege being my third full toy line to jump into, I was really excited, and naturally after watching the 86 movie for like maybe the 10th or 15th time, I wanted to start a collection for the characters who were involved in the film, even if they only showed up to die. And Ironhide, funny enough, is one of those characters. Ironhide here looks pretty good. It's a cyber-stylized version of the G1 character, and it doesn't look bad. In terms of how it feels, it's pretty solid. The only complaint I have with the mold is the leg flaps that aren't held in by a pin, so they're very prone to coming out with little to no force. Otherwise, it's a very good looking and a very fun to handle rendition of the character. It hits every note for me, and it handles very nicely as well. The accessory he comes with is a missile launcher that also turns into a warhammer of sorts. As far as a practical application of a hammer missile launcher goes, I have no idea, but the wiki tells me it's an LR Doomblast Forge Launcher, which is all I really know, and that name is just metal as hell. Articulation here is really, really good. This figure is a prime example of why I think Siege is, once again, a gold standard to follow for toy lines that come after it. It improves on everything else that the previous line did, and they added a lot of posing options to the smaller figures that usually wouldn't be superposable otherwise. Transformation here is simple and fun, and the only thing I wish were better, once again, is the side panels come off with little to no force, so while not directly being a parts former, sometimes it ends up that way, and honestly, I wish this were slightly better in that regard. The vehicle mode that we end up with is a cyber-stylized version of what is the Nissan Cherry Vanette that Ironhide was known to be, and I'm really happy with it since in Siege there weren't piles of nothing. They all turned into something that resembled their Earth mode, and while they do give us the Earth mode in Earthrise, I could never get that figure because it was, with one of the many issues that Amazon had with scalpers, and I would have passed anyways since it's just the Siege version, but made worse in my own opinion. As a whole, this is an excellent figure. If you're able to get this one at a reasonable price aftermarket, I'd say it's more than worth if you're a huge G1 fan. I also just happen to like G1 Ironhide's design too, so for sure I had to get this figure for the shelf, and it gets a solid 8.5 out of 10. It would be higher, but issues with the leg panels, and thankfully it's not too big of an issue that's a deal breaker, but it's the only thing that keeps this thing from getting a significantly higher rating. That's really all I have, so make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you're so inclined, please follow my social media pages down below in the description. And with that, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, week, month, or life, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!